Hi, everybody. I'm Jay. Welcome to the Daily Creek Wisdom with a side of ibuprofen. Have you had your ibuprofen today? I have. Anyway, um, that is just a necessity depending on the day. I hope it's not for you, really. I really do. I hope you can get up, spring right out of bed in the morning and get to doing what you need to do without having to rely on over the counter medications. That would really be ideal, but I find that I quite often can't. So today, as I record this, it's Saturday, May 9th, 2026. And I'm not going to make this a very long video unless I get, I don't know, long winded, maybe. That happens sometimes, mostly when I talk to my wife. But uh, I intend to keep this fairly short, say 10-ish minutes. We'll see how that goes, though. Basically, what I wanted to talk about today was two different things. I just want to touch, just for fun, on some of the things that are going on in the world. And I'm not going to go into detail on these things, but in case you're living under a rock or in a cave and you have no communication with the outside world, I just wanted to touch on a few things. So I'm going to rely on something that I don't really rely on a regular basis, and that's the Drudge Report. I only use them for headlines. I very rarely click on the articles and actually read them. So let's jump into this really quick. If you're not familiar with the Drudge Report, it's been quite famous since the mid 90s when, during the fall of Bill Clinton and the blue dress and all that sort of stuff. So the Drudge Report's been around for a long time. Matt Drudge started it, and he actually is not involved anymore. He sold out to a completely left wing whack job outfit, and so it's very left leaning now. It used to be right leaning back in the day, but it's not anymore. So, just for fun, let's see what they have to say today on the Drudge Report. And the first thing we see is that apparently Ben Shapiro from the Daily Wire, very famous conservative commentator, is having a meltdown of some sort. I would suggest that if you really want to know more about the meltdown that he had, just go to the Drudge Report and read the article. I'm sure it'll give you a fairly unbiased, no, that's really not the word, but a fairly unbiased assessment of Ben Shapiro's meltdown if he actually had one. So let's scroll a little bit further. The big headlines here on the Drudge Report today are summer bummer, travel upended. Uh, there's going to be a lot of problems apparently with fuel prices and fuel availability and that sort of thing for the airlines. And so we already know that Spirit Airlines went out of business here recently, and there may be some airlines following suit. I don't really know, but you'll just have to read the article. The world is on the brink of a food crisis, and this has to do with supply chain. It has to do with a lot of it has to do with fertilizer not being available to uh, a lot of the farmers in the world. I don't think in the U.S. we're going to be quite as bad off because we have the capability of making our fertilizer for the most part, but there still is going to cause shortages quite similar to the oil uh, problems that we're having, where oil's not flowing freely, and that affects the price. And same thing with the fertilizer. The fertilizer is not flowing freely from the countries that make it to the rest of the world, so the price goes up and causes shortages. And so, if there's shortages in fertilizer, it's going to cause problems growing our food. And like I said, it'll affect most of the rest of the world more than it will here in the United States. That's just my opinion. Take that with a grain of salt. You can read up on it, study it, and make your own decision. What else is going on here in the world? Uh, oh, the new virus that was discovered on the cruise ship from Argentina, the rat virus, mouse virus, hantavirus. I'm still not sure if I can even say that stuff on YouTube right now because you know how that goes. Anyway, um, again, the media tries to make a big deal about that when it's probably going to end up not being such a big deal. So don't stress about the hantavirus anymore, okay? It's just not worth it. Okay, the other big deal going on right now is that there's a mayoral race in Los Angeles, California, and Karen Bass and somebody else is on the Democrat side is up against Spencer Pratt, a young Republican who is, I mean, he's taken the city by storm. If you were a fan of, I forget the name of the TV show he was on. Do you remember, dear?
The Hills.
The Hills. Yeah, he was on The Hills. My wife is a great resource for this kind of thing. The Hills. He was, and his wife was on there too. I forget her name, but Spencer Pratt is pretty impressive. If I lived in L.A. and if I was going to vote, I'd vote for Spencer Pratt in a heartbeat. They need to get that city rebuilt. I mean, there's people still waiting for permits to get their houses rebuilt from the fire. It's a terrible thing. Okay, that's enough of the headlines for today. I think that's probably enough, don't you think? Now, what I want to talk about is since it's Saturday and nobody really wants to work on Saturday, and I'm no different than anybody else, I'm going to keep this kind of short. So, I want you to know that the intended direction of this channel is, it's designed for people who are in retirement or who are approaching retirement. We want to help with information and maybe just a little fun along the way. And so I'm not really sure that we're going to stay focused on particular subjects as we grow and develop here. Because it's really going to depend on, the views of the videos. The views of the videos and the subscribers are the ones that are really going to drive the content of this channel. So what I want to ask of you, who are probably new to watching this channel, since this channel itself is very new, I want to ask you what you'd like to see. I mean, there are some things going on in my life that I can certainly highlight. I can I can sit here and talk about uh, all sorts of information related to retirees from various websites and that sort of stuff. Or, I can highlight activities for seniors. I can highlight when I go out and go fishing with my granddaughter, if that's the kind of thing that you're into. Uh, you know, we just might do that. Uh, I could go film a grocery shopping trip to Walmart. There's all kinds of things I can do, but I would also like your input. And if you subscribed, especially if you subscribed, why did you subscribe? Leave it in the comments. Or send me an email, which I'm going to put right across here, to thedailycreek@gmail.com. Tell me what you'd like to see on the channel. And if you don't, it'll be just solely up to me. So that's really about all I wanted to cover today. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. It's it's sunny and bright here where I live, which happens to be in the state of Washington, which is really a beautiful place actually. It's just, the people that run it, they're just kind of woohoo, but anyway, it's a beautiful state. So let me know. Let me know what you want to see on this channel. Let me know what you would enjoy watching. And for now, That's really going to be it. You have a nice weekend. If you happen to be watching this shortly after I record it. If not, have a nice day, whatever day of the week it happens to be while you're watching this. And we'll see you next time on the Daily Creek with some wisdom with a side of ibuprofen. And remember, Romans 10:9. See ya.